Today we will start with a new subject, BSOE 148, that is social stratification. The first unit of this on the basis of prestige, on the basis of wealth, on the production techniques. We discussed about the Marx concept and social stratification evolved as an institution because of the evolvement of the production techniques. It evolved as an institution because of innovation of animal husbandry and agriculture. It necessitated more complex technology and settled form of community life. These economics began to generate economic surpluses and accumulation of the wealth, either in the form of cattle or food grain. Because of the advancement of the technology, because of the innovation in animal husbandry, because of the innovation in the agriculture, it resulted in the economic surplus and accumulation of the health, and people rather than moving from here and there, people started settling over one place, right? With assured food resources, population began to grow as never before, and barter and exchange or commodities began to take place on the larger scale. In course of time, tools of exchange were invented, which could reflect values of commodities in both sections of societies, who had more control on wealth and power with development of relatively complex technologies, division of labor. Not only specialized group emerged, but a division between the rural and the urban centers may come into existence over a period of time. How it has been evolved. As we know, the people were hunt before. People were not settled before. There was a hunting society. They moved from one place to another place in search of food. No then after after the advancement of technology and innovation in animal husbandry and the agriculture, people started earning more. Now they have surplus money, they have wealth, and because they have food resources, surplus food resources, and because of all these, they started settling down at one place. Right, and because of the food resources, they started barter and exchange processes. Right, in this course of action, new tools were invented and they were considered as commodities, right? Those who have more control over those commodities and the more commodities are considered wealthy. Then there started the division of labor. People started dividing their work between themselves, right? And specialized group emerged because of the division of labor, not because of the division of labor. Then again, there was a division on the basis of rural and the urban centers because of industrialization, right? The complexity of a social structure necessitated more elaborate institution of social control over the emerging new social realities, such as institutionalized form of religion, strata of functionaries specialized into different form of work, cultural specialists and the ruling classes, etc. The institution of social stratification came into being as a result because of the development, because of the changes in the social structure, because of the development, there was a change in the social structure. So it has been observed that we need the institution of social control over the new emerging social realities, and to control all these things, a new institutionalized form of religion, a new institutionalized class of the ruler has been emerged, right? And this gave rise to the institution of social stratification. with the development of the technology, with the development of new innovative technologies, people started. There was a division of labor, right? And people, because of the division of labor, there was a division among the people on the basis of rural and the urban background, right? And to control all these things, people started thinking about there must be some institution who can control all these things. To control, to begin the social control, the institutionalized form of a religion, culture, functionaries, and rural classes has been emerged, and this has given rise to social stratification. So, in short, what is social stratification? A division, a ranking, not the division, a ranking of group of high ranking of the group in comparison to each other, that is higher or lower, is known as the social stratification, and ranking on the basis of wealth, on the basis of power, right? Organizing principles of social stratification. There are three main organizing principles of social stratification. These are status, wealth, and power. These are the status, wealth, and power are the principles of stratification. Sociological observation of many societies over a period of time have revealed some linkage among these principles as an evolutionary process. There is some linkage between the wealth, power, and strength. Social stratification comes into being in society when social gradation or ranking is done on the basis of the entire group of people, such as gradation because of caste and class in our society. Social stratification comes into the society when social gradation or ranking is done on the basis of the entire group. When we give grade or ranking to the entire group, not to an individual, right? When we give the grade to the entire group, and this gradation could be based on the class or caste, that is known as the social stratification. That is rank when we rank the whole group, right? On the basis of class, on the basis of wealth, on the basis of power, on the basis of state, then that is known as the social stratification. The first thing on which the first factor which is responsible for the stratification is the status. The first principle of social, or the earliest principle of social stratification is status. Status is the language of social stratification, means ranking of groups in a society on the basis of their relative position in terms of honor and respect. What is status? That is, we rank the group on the basis of their relative position in the society in terms of honor or respect. Who is more honorable has been ranked as the number one, and then number two, number three, number four. That means status. Status is what? Status is nothing but a language of social stratification. Means we rank the group in the society on one basis, on the basis of their relative positions in terms of honors and respect. Honor is a qualitative attribute. We all know it's a qualitative attribute which member in the status group enjoys by birth. Any such attribute which is inherited by birth is ascribed and cannot be acquired by efforts. Right? So those status which we inherit because of birth is known as ascribed, and it cannot be acquired by the efforts. Example of this ascribed status is caste. In our society, caste is an ascribed status. Because we get it by birth, we cannot acquire it. We cannot change our caste. Right? So status is ascribed status and the acquired status. The ascribed status which we get because of the birth. Status principle of stratification is also termed as the principle of ascription. In our country, caste is very appropriate example of status group. Ascribed because it is ascribed. The qualities which go to make status group are related more to values and beliefs, to legends and myth perpetuated in this society over a period of time, than to the principle which is achievable by efforts, whether economic, political, or cultural. So status are actually the values, beliefs, legend which we get, which we inherit, which is perpetuated in this society over a period of time, rather than it could not be achievable. Right? It is not achievable. The second factor is wealth, right? Which is responsible for the social stratification. The second organizing principle of social stratification is wealth. Wealth is generated in society only when technological advancements takes place and there is change in the mode of production, right? Such changes not only brought about the institution of social stratification but in course of time also altered the principle of organization of social stratification. Although if someone is from a lower caste but he is wealthy, then again he also gains the power, status in the society. So it is the principle of social stratification. Group which had a greater control over the economic resources and wealth, or which possesses more wealth, were ranked higher in this society than the group which controlled less of it, or group which had a little or negligible excess of wealth. Right? Social stratification based on the class is its prime example. Status, caste is the example of status, and class is an example of wealth. Middle class, upper middle class, lower class, higher class. That is on the basis of when we divide the classes, when we stratify the classes, when we rank the classes, right? So class is an classical example of wealth, and caste is a classical example of status. Next principle, the third principle is power. The third organizing principle of social stratification is power. Unlike status and wealth, which can be clearly linked with group characteristics of the ranking, it is always possible that a group with a higher status in the society, or that which enjoys a greater wealth, also exercise more power in society. So those which enjoys the higher status, or which has more wealth, enjoys the power, right? The concept of power, as Max Weber has discussed in his treatment of social stratification, rests on the fact that it endows the person or group have power to impose their will on the other group by legitimate use of coercive method. This power concept of power has been explained by the Max Weber. We discussed it earlier also, and we will discuss it again in coming chapters. Right? According to Max Weber, what is power? That power is to impose the will on the other group, right? By legitimate use of coercive will. When the legitimacy of exercise of power is widely accepted by the group, or in another word, when it is institutionalized in the society, it is known as authority. What is power? When someone forcefully when imposes their will on the others, then that is power. And when this power becomes legitimized, or when this power has been accepted by a group of a people, then it becomes the authority, right? Caste and class in India. There is a stratification in India on the basis of class and caste. Caste is an example of status, and class is an example of wealth. Caste. Caste and class are principles of social stratification, which illustrate respectively the role of status and wealth in the ranking of the groups in societies. That's what I told you. Caste is the primary example of status group. Class is based on the principle where groups are ranked on their access to wealth or their relative ability to have control upon the wealth resources in the society. So caste is a classical example of status and class is a classical example of wealth. There is a greater degree of consensus among sociologists about the process by which status groups are formed and constitutes our rank order in social stratification. But the same degree of consensus does not seem to exist about the process which contributes to the emergence of classes. There is a consensus among the sociologists how caste has been emerged, but there is difference of opinion how classes has been emerged. Class is seen as emerging out of the market situation by Max Weber, where Karl Marx connects it with the modes of production, which determine access to the wealth or its control, as well as the ranking of group in the society. So, according to the Karl Marx, class depends on the control of the means of production, or control on the means of production means they have control on the wealth and they have a higher ranking in the society. But according to Max Weber, this class depends on the market situations, right? So there is a consensus between the sociologists about the emergence of the caste, but there is difference of opinion among the sociologists about the emergence of the class. Caste and social stratification that in traditional Indian society was organized primarily on the basis of class stratification. There is a division in Indian society on the basis of caste, right? The caste was function. The stratification was such that caste function as Dye's central principle in all aspects of social life, such as economy, polity, and culture. And this caste is the core of Indian society. Distinction between Varna and Jati. There are two things that Varna and Jati. There is a distinction between the Varna and Jati. Varna being the frame of reference or mode for classification, and Jati being a specific caste or a group ranked in order of social status. Right? So Jati is a specific caste and that has been used to rank in order of spatial stratification. There are four Varnas like Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. These are the four Varnas, but later the fifth Varna or the Panchama also came into existence. It comprised those who were thrown out of the caste system. They were not even involved in the caste system due to their having been judged by the society as to have violated some of its basic norms. They have been thrown out of the society. They were not involved, even not involved in the caste system, and the Panchamas were declared by the society as untouchables, the acutest form of social discrimination imposed on any group in this society, and this has been imposed on the group of the society. This is the stratification of the society. They were considered as untouchable. They have been thrown out of the Jati system or the Varna system. Some of the basic characteristics of caste system was membership by birth. You acquire the caste by birth. You cannot achieve the caste, right? You cannot change your caste. So it is membership. You gain the membership by birth. Hereditary occupation. Then pollution and purity ascribed to different castes in terms of Varna hierarchy. There is a concept of pollution and purity. This caste is polluted, this is pure, and this has been ascribed to the different caste in terms of Varna hierarchy. There is a concept of endogamy. We discussed about endogamy in details. Mutual repulsion or segregation is there. These are the some basic characteristics of the caste system, that they mutually repel each other or segregate from each other. Demography of caste. Jati is not recognized as a social group. It is only recognizable with reference to the Varna group. So it is not a reference group. It is not recognized as a social group, but it is recognizable with reference to the Varna, to which Varna you belong. Whether you belongs to a Brahmin Varna, Kshatriya Varna, Shudra Varna, or Vaishya. Jati had always existed as a regional or a sub-regional group numbering into thousands. There could be thousands of jatis in single varna, and it always existed in regional or sub-regional groups, right? Jatis also bear local and regional cultural makers based on the ecology, local history, and mythology. So, jati varies from region to sub-region, but we consider jati with reference to the varna. So, varna is most important. Caste system function on the basis of mutual cooperation and interdependence. It formed an organic system. So all jatis are interdependent on each other, and they mutually cooperate with each other, and it formed an organic system. The stability of caste as a system of social stratification was based on economy. Economy is the basic factor on which the stability of the caste is based. Social mobility is there. What is social mobility? The phase of the process of change in the caste system of stratification. Set into motion process of new social mobility linked with the state policies, introduced elements of politicization in its social movement from which system has never turned back. Independence, which resulted from the national political movement against British rule, was ideological against the discrimination in India based on the caste, on the religion and ethnic differences. Its normative foundation was located in secularism, citizenship right, and equality available to all, and this has been accepted by us in our constitution, right? So they are according to our constitution. We cannot differentiate anyone on the basis of caste, creed, region, religion. All are We are secular state, and all citizens have the equal rights. They enjoy equal rights, right? So this is the social mobility. What is the principle of hierarchy? Principle of hierarchy means caste inherits some of caste inherits some traits from ancestors, and there is a well-defined hierarchy. Hierarchy means there is a well-defined rank, right? So each caste considered to reflect the principle of hierarchy in social stratification, which is at the topmost position and which caste is at the lower position. So there is a well-defined hierarchy in social stratification, right? Caste is a well-defined hierarchy. Hierarchy is defined by Dumont. Dumont was a French sociologist. He defined the caste as a feature of social system where normative principles govern or determine the instrumental or utilitarian principle in affairs of society. So, according to Dumont, there was a hierarchy of social stratification, and these principles govern the governance of these principles is determined by the instrumental or utilitarian principles. According to Dumont, the notion of pollution and purity and inequalities existent in the caste system could not be understood when judged from the Western secular standards. which belongs to altogether different metrics of civilization. Because he was a French sociologist, so he studied that caste system of Western society. According to him, there is a difference in the caste social stratification of caste of in the Indian society. We cannot compare the caste system of Indian society with the Western society, because in India there is a notion of pollution and purity, which is totally different from the Western civilization, right? So there is a difference. We should understand in a different context. What is the Indian social structure? There are extensive studies of Indian social structure in terms of its class composition and its processes. Several studies attempts to establish a very close relationship between the caste and the class in India. Right? There are two systems: the caste system and the class system. Caste system which we inherit, which are the ascribed, which is because of the status. It is an ascribed status, and class is because of the we can achieve this status, right? We can achieve the class, but several studies shows that there is a linkage between the class and the caste system. Traditionally, it has been observed that caste reflected a feature described as summation of status principle. This caste reflects the summation of status principle. If the status of caste was low in ritual, that is pollution or purity, hierarchy, it was also lower in its access to the economic, political, and social status. See, if if a caste is considered to be low, right, low in hierarchy, then it was also lower in wealth, economic, political, or social status. So there is a linkage between the caste and the class. If class comes in, if status of the class is low, then it is lower in access to the economic, political, and social status. Right? By definition, caste is a closed group. That is, its membership is by birth. You cannot acquire the membership of any caste. Thus, caste is known as the ascribed caste. It cannot be achieved by economic or social mobility. If you have money, you cannot acquire any of the caste. It is by birth. You get it by birth, and it is a closed type of a group, right? While class is an open type of a group, its membership is based on the achievement criteria. You can, if you achieve something, if you can earn well, you can change your class, which could be economic, political, or social in character. So you can change your class, but not the caste. Caste constitutes a community. Its mobility is group based, and to this extent, efforts to arise status by Sanskritization. Sanskritization is a process um, uh, um, in which a caste group tries to move upwards, right? That is the process of Sanskritization, but it is a group based process, right? You can move up, but it is a group based process. Class, unlike the caste, does not have a communitarian attribute. While Sanskritization is a communitarian attribute, it is related to the whole community. If someone wants to move up, then it is based on the community, right? It constitutes a community. Not only a single person cannot move up or by through Sanskritization. It is the whole community which moves up. While in a class, it does not have communitarian attribute, right? Although it may evolve group cohesiveness based on the common interest. Class in the sense is interest group where the caste constitutes a community. Caste constitutes a community while class constitutes the common interest group. Those who have a common interest, they form a class, and the communities form the caste. Marxist method and concept. What is Marxist methods and concept? The application of Marxist method and concept for analysis of India's Class structure has been more common among economists, which was later applied by the sociologist. In rural context, whether the economy and social structure have feudal or semi-feudal, pre-capitalist or capitalist feature. To understand the class structure, normally economists and sociologists apply the Marxist methods and concept for analysis of Indian class structure. Right? In rural context, where the population is feudal or semi-feudal or capitalist in nature, the class structure of village, which are still located on the agriculture economy, are fast moving towards the capitalist orientation. This implies money, wages instead of wage in kind, agriculture for profit, money, wages instead of wages in kind, agriculture for profit rather than for livelihood, greater role of banking credit and cooperative investment for production, and movement from production cash crop rather than the cereal, which increased linkage to the market, etc. So, people try to move upward, try to increase their class, try to increase their caste. They don't consider, they do agriculture for their profit, not for their livelihood. The banks play a greater role in giving the credits, and they give investments for the production, right? And the farmer starts growing the cash crop rather than the cereal crop to gain more money, right? While in urban area, class structure comprises generally the industrialists, traders, and the business classes, the professional or the service classes, the semi-skilled workers, and the daily wages. What are the bases of social structure? What the social stratification? Stratification is, we all know that it is a stratification is a system of social ranking, right? We rank each other, right? That involves reaction of superiority or inferiority. That is, stratification is system of social ranking involving the relation of superiority and inferiority, which is superior than whom. These relations between units of ranks are governed by set of norms. There are the set of norms which governs these rankings. It refers to the empirical distribution of advantage and benefits in society. Right? Because of this stratification, people get advantage and benefits in this society. It can be seen as a process which is regulated by some principles. These principles determine the basis of distribution of social advantage in this society. So, what are the social basis of stratification? Basis of social stratification. It is nothing but the ranking, right? On the basis of superiority and inferiority, right? There are certain norms which gives this ranking, right? It refers to the empirical distribution of advantage and benefits in the society. It can be seen as a process which is regulated by some principles. So it is regulated by some principles, and these principles determine the basis of distribution of advantages in this society. Who will get what advantage? Dimension or basis of social stratification. The basis or dimension of stratification refers to different level of this differentiation, which may allocate people in a given society. Natural inequalities takes place in form of social inequalities when member of society assign some meaning to them. See, naturally there are some inequalities, but when these natural inequalities has been assigned some meaning by this society, then this becomes the social inequalities. You can be, we can be different from each other. You will have more money, someone else will have less wealth. right? It is natural. But when it has been associated, you could be someone could be more beautiful than someone else. This is nothing but again ranking, again then brutalizing the eyes of the beholder. But again, we are differentiating it, right? When we give it some social meaning, when there are natural inequalities, when these natural inequalities are associated with some meaning which has been assigned by this society, then it becomes a social inequality. He is rich, he is poor. She is beautiful, she is not. She is intelligent, she is not. Right? Although there are natural inequalities, but again, when we give some social, when we assign it with social inequalities, social meaning to it, then it becomes social inequalities. Sociologists present the three bases of stratification. There are three bases of stratification, that is the wealth, power, and status, or the prestige. That is class, power, and status are the three bases of stratification. Wealth, status, and power. Class. It refers to differentiation at the level of wealth. Class. Class is based on wealth. Upper class, middle class, lower class, higher class, right? In this sense, it can be termed as economic differentiation. It is class is based on the wealth, economic differentiation. Who have more wealth, they are considered higher classes, and those who don't have money or they are considered lower classes. Such changes not only brought about the institution of social stratification, but in course of time also altered the principle of organization of social stratification. Economic advancement to generation of more wealth in society, more accumulation of markers of wealth is in the form of food grains, cattle, or metals, minerals, or money. Wealth could be in form of cattle, it could be in forms of metals, it could be in forms of money, it could be in forms of food grains, it could be in forms of cash, right? At this stage, the group which had greater control over the economic resources and the wealth, or which possesses more wealth, were ranked higher in the society than the group which controlled less of it, or group which had a little or negligible access to wealth. So those who possesses more wealth are considered those who have higher were ranked higher in the society than those who possesses less wealth. The social stratification based on the class is prime example, right? Class, that is the stratification on the basis of wealth. Class is the prime example of the wealth. Next is power. Power refers to differential access of power in society. It includes political, social, and other type of power. Power could be the political power. Power could be the social power, or any other type of the power. Right? It is always possible that a group with a higher status in the society, or that which enjoys a greater wealth, also exercise a more power in society. Those who have more health or which enjoys the greater wealth exercises more power in the society. It is always possible. The concept of power as a Max Weber has been discussed in his treatment of social stratification rests on the fact that it endows a person or a group which have power to impose their will on the other group by legitimate use of coercive method. We discussed it earlier also that power, this concept was given by the Max Weber, and according to the Max Weber, though the group or a person who have a power imposes their will on the other groups by legitimate use of coercive method. And when this legitimacy of exercise is power is widely accepted by the group, then it is known as the authority. When this has been institutionalized, it is known as this authority. When some powerful person, those who have wealth, imposes their will on the group, then that is known as a power. And when a group, when the majority of people accept that power, then it becomes the authority, right? Next is status. What is status? It refers to the distribution of prestige or social honor. It is related to the prestige or honor in the society. Status, in the language of social stratification, means ranking a group in a society on the basis of their relative position in terms of honor and respect. There are n number of groups, and these groups have their relative position in this society, and these relative positions are in terms of honor and respect. We give this is status is those group which are relatively on the higher rank, right, higher rank on this society, then that is known as uh, they possesses the higher status, that is ranking on the basis of honor and respect. When we rank rank the groups on the basis of honor and relatively on the basis of honor and respect. Any such attribute which is inherited by birth is ascribed and cannot be acquired by efforts. The status principle of social stratification is termed as a principle of ascription. Status principle is known as ascription because we inherit by birth. Because on the basis of honor and the group, on the honor and the respect, and respect, the group has been ranked. Has been ranked higher or lower, and we cannot do anything because it is group based, and this type of this is known as the ascribed status, right, which we inherit. Example, caste, right? Caste is an ascribed status. In most cases, the three dimensions complement each other. That is, they are intertwined. They depend on each other, right? That is the status, class, and power depends on each other. Status. Those who are ranked higher usually enjoy more power and more wealth. They enjoy more wealth, so they are placed in the higher classes, and because of the more wealth, they enjoy the power. So they are intertwined, or they complement each other. Max Weber, class is an economic category, a product of market situation. The status group, on the other hand, constitute a social order based on the prestige or honor. So, class is based on the wealth according to Max Weber, right? And status is based on the prestige or honor, right? Status is determined by the social prestige one enjoys. Social prestige is expressed through different styles of life. Class and status group can be independent phenomenon, but in reality, the two overlap with each other. As I told you, that they are intertwined, they are interlinked. Class and status actually are independent phenomenon, class and status, but they are intertwined, they overlap each other, because when you are placed higher than any other group, then obviously you will have more money, and you will have more money, and you will enjoy the higher class types of things, and you will have power, right? The notion of power is the keynote of Weber's theory of social stratification. The theory given by the Weber's about the social stratification, power is the keynote of that theory. It has been said that Weber's theory of stratification is reactions to the Marx theory of class. Right? Marx has given the theory of classes, right? And this power theory given by this theory of stratification is a react of Weber is a reaction to the Marx theory of class. We'll discuss these things later. Weber is the founding father of stratification analysis. So Weber is the one who has given this stratification analysis. Weber developed the ideas of stratification. He emphasized that the distinction of economic, social, and political basis of stratification. So he is the one. Weber is the one who divided this. He divided this stratification. Who has given the basis of so who has given that economic basis of stratification, political basis of stratification, and the social basis of stratification. It is Weber is the founding father of stratification. He provided multi-dimensional approach to study of social stratification. You can study the social stratification on many other things, right? Other bases of social stratification, there are many other bases on which stratification is based. First one is the age. Age. Societies which have been described stateless time by Evan Pritchard lack centralized government. They have no offices. If they have such offices, they hold more ritual than the secular power. Still, such society are found to be stratified on the basis of age. Ranking on the basis of age is put together with exercise of authority on the basis of seniority, right? That is the ranks determined on the base of age is called the age set. We stratified it on the basis of age, and the ranking on the basis of age are called the age set. All persons born within the range of number of years belongs to the one age set, right? In the terms of social stratification, the age set system provides for an open society which no one is allocated particular position for life. Everybody in his time does become old and therefore get the chance to hold decisive authority. Thus, this system, in which personal changes within the system without changing the pattern of stratification itself. So, another is age. That's all for today. Thank you very much.